Okay, so where did I leave off the last time? Here. A flood is when there's a heavy rain, a lot of rain for a long time, and it's a disaster, and people can really have a problem with destruction of their homes, and people can die, especially they could drown if they can't swim. Dams can break, and that causes even more flooding. So you get, dams, przehrada on the lake can break. And then even weeks later, after the flood, more people can die because you have water standing for a long time, and it can be people can get diseases, intestinal problems, cholera, or something like this. Okay, so floods very dangerous. Opposite of a flood would be a drought. So a drought is when you don't have rain for a really long time, or you have just a little bit of rain, not enough. So when the ground, inside the ground, is really dry for a long time, you can have forest fires. This is so one natural disaster causes other ones. So big California, there was, I think, world-class forest fires this last year in 2019 in Australia, with the super dry, hot temperatures, a lot of big fires and a lot of burnt land and dead animal habitat. Also in the rainforests, where they were cutting down a lot of trees and things dried out and they got a lot of fires. So big problems. It can be a problem for the air quality with pollution from the smoke and just general nasty problems. So drought. We don't want a drought. Climate. Be careful of výslovnost. Climate is the long-term weather behavior. Okay, and we can talk about also climate levels. Like Czech is we have two climates here in Czech. So we have one, believe it or not, which is like a seaside climate, even though we're far away from the sea. So we have a small part of our country here that has that. And I forget the name of the other climate, but it's a kind of a mild climate with mild summers, not too hot like in Mediterranean climate, right? And cold winters. So we have that climate here. Air conditioning, klimatizaci, foggy, it's foggy outside, molhy, reduced visibility. In the fog, you can't see so far, so visibility is reduced. When you can't see so far, nothing's visible at long distances. Weather conditions, what's the weather like? Podmínky. Average temperature, we did that up there, I think. Průměrová teplota. It feels like, so sometimes even though the temperature is warm, it might feel colder. Or the temperature is cold, it might feel warmer. It depends on the humidity in the air, how much water is in the air. Okay, humidity? I forgot the name in Czech. How much water, percent of water, vapor in the air. Feels like, okay, umbrella, bring an umbrella. It's wet. It's moist. It's a little bit wet. Moist, a little bit wet. Same thing. Damp, synonym for moist. Damp means a little bit wet, not too wet. Soaked, completely wet. Soaked. Absolutely 100% all water everywhere. I am soaked. I was in the pouring rain and I didn't have an umbrella. Dry, sucho, humidity, vrchost. It's humid outside. The humidity is 20% or 80%. Hodně, many clouds. What's that got to do with anything?